At SW-MOTECH, product development is an ongoing process. A great example is the accessories for the Kawasaki KLR 650. This is the third generation of parts we've developed for the KLR, with changes reflecting what we learned in the field from our own testing and from feedback from MotoQuest and other companies running these on fleets. Let's start with the crash bars. In our first version of the KLR crash bars, we mounted to 3 points. Up here at the apex, in the front, down in front of the engine, and down at the rear. We mounted up to the foot peg mounting points, but we later moved that away because we found that it was much stronger to clamp directly to the frame. We also went back to try to address the issue of vibration and cracking. So we changed the shape and the mass of this upper portion to change the resonant frequency, added gussets, and then rubber mounted the front end of the crash bars. All of those changes made the crash bars last much longer given the KLR's rattling. The original KLR skid plate that we designed was relatively minimalistic. It was lightweight, it mounted up to about here, so it came back to the oil drain plug, and it had a few things we wanted to change. For starters, we went from a riveted design to a fully welded design. That made it more resistant to repeated impacts. We also shifted from a 3mm aluminum to a 4mm aluminum to increase strength. And at each of the 4 mounting points, we used rubber isolation mounts so that it would reduce vibration. This is really important on the KLR and reduces sound and stress cracking in the aluminum. Later, we also moved backwards so that we provided about 4 or 5 more inches of coverage going back to the rear suspension linkage. And we came up on the side to give you some protection for your water pump. All these things created a much greater protection package in the skid plate than the original. Like all German center stands, the SW-MOTECH stand has 2 springs. That protects you from the center stand dropping if one of the springs breaks. On the other side of the bike, we added 2 things to help you lift the bike onto the center stand. One was a foot lever, and the other is grab handle. Between the 2 of them, even heavily loaded KLRs can get up on the center stand relatively easily. Our first version of the SW-MOTECH steel rack was a simple flat sheet of steel. We later changed the alloy to increase strength. We also put bends in the sides and the rear to increase rigidity. As far as the side racks are concerned, we went back and added gussets at the front lower leg and the rear lower leg to battle the constant vibration that the KLR puts these racks through. Overall, we've tried to develop the products so that we respond to feedback from rental companies in Colorado, Alaska, and other areas. These companies will put these bikes through 20,000 to 30,000 miles of off-pavement riding at 70 miles an hour in just 1 year. It's an accelerated torture test that lets us tell where the SW-MOTECH products are up to the challenge and where we still have a few things to solve. It's all part of the ongoing development process at SW-MOTECH and Twisted Throttle.